Hi everybody, Paul Russo here. Here's my piece about accidental firearm discharge on campus. It was published in Autofocus Lit. It appears in a somewhat altered form in my forthcoming memoir from HarperCollins called Friendly Fire. So here we go. After my best friend shot me in the head through two walls in our on-campus apartment by freak accident, every news outlet in the Twin Cities threw something together for quick clicks. Reading them felt dirty to me, like a bad sex joke etched in the bathroom stall at a come and go. Most of the information was just plain wrong. Crucial context was laughably withheld. Other pieces altogether false. Imagine watching the NBA Finals where every article the next day is littered with wild inconsistencies. Stats are skewed, plays invented. The other team won when yours actually did. That's what it felt like when I read these articles. Guesses and approximations were thrown together and delivered with a staggering conviction of truth, as if two totally separate events existed in the same parcel of time and space. Every article covered the basics. This university, that police department. Here are the times, roughly. The students are both male, 22 years old, one from this city, the other from that city. Some included my name. None included my best friend's. The articles assured us that it was not an act of violence, which is debatable. They stressed it was an accident. He was just fooling around with the gun, then, oops, pulled the trigger. Which doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't violent. It was a very violent accident. The two are not mutually exclusive. We were assured that there was no current threat. The weapon, never weapons, no one knows how many weapons my friend had in our apartment, 3, had been taken into police custody as though the weapon itself were guilty. We were assured that the 22-year-old suspect, news sources don't typically name suspects before they are charged or arrested, was no longer on campus, which was untrue. We were told with confidence that no one was likely to bump into him by chance. Wrong again. My girlfriend did, just days later, already overwhelmed and appalled from the incident, then doubly so after running into him. The police confirmed that my friend had a valid permit to carry when his gun accidentally went off. Our concern is directed again and again to his permit to carry. This, for them, is the salient detail. This, for them, made the whole situation a little less horrific and somewhat okay. Some articles wanted us to know that the bullet was fired through a wall, or possibly two walls, then into the common area. Some articles wanted us to know that the suspect at the time was not visible to the other student who was shot, that is, me. Most articles wanted us to know that the student, me again, was transported to the hospital. None of the articles devoted word count to the severity of the injury, the critical care and subsequent surgery, or, of course, the slurry of bizarre circumstances leading up to said emergency admittance. Namely, my best friend's refusal to get help for 2 nightmarish hours while he prioritized his own fate before mine. Faced with the fear of going to jail and scrubbing toilets for the rest of his life, he insisted we go to Home Depot for paint and quick-dry plaster to repair the bullet holes in the wall, less concerned with the one in my head. All while blood from a source eerily close to my brain soaked through the bottom of a pillowcase. It wasn't until my other roommate came home from volleyball practice that he was convinced, outnumbered, to call 911. According to these articles, all that was known for certain was that a gun went off and a bullet traveled through walls before making contact with the student. What word would best fit that scenario? The student was hit, struck, injured, all serviceable, though shot probably the safest bet. None of these words were used. Instead, the word grazed was deployed almost universally in every article. The meaning of grazed, according to whatever dictionary Google privileges: to scrape the skin or part of the body so as to break the surface but cause little to no bleeding. Ah yes, grazed. The bullet touched the gentleman's head lightly in passing, shattering a portion of his skull bone before ricocheting off onto the carpet. Only a healthy trail of blood smatter, some alarming red handprints on the wall, were found, leading to the bathroom mirror. The abrasion merely caused severe brain trauma. A scratch, really, along with reconstructive neurosurgery that resulted in the addition of a few titanium plates and screws implanted in the head. Being a scuff, quite minor, the gentleman will struggle through a life of various physical and psychological residual symptoms requiring numerous therapies, medications, specialty appointments. That is, complaints to be taken lightly given the stark horror of the insignificant Nick. Some articles mentioned that I'm an English major. Thank you. Have a good one. Take care.